Nyarji Jimbo, so ding me shans on the Molam Jimbo Abjata, Pankatang, Sandu Shermado, Tumba Tuji, Janla, give shots, show me Juji and Jipodana, Tism Sanji Gunji, Rasim Jurgang was and on the Bezavela Manam Lango shots. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome. And today again, I'm going to say a few words about Buddha Dharma. We have a great Sangha. This is a Buddhist community or group of people who are practicing together and taking the same path. And it is a very precious group. Why is a precious group? Because we have some important rules that the Buddha set for Buddhist communities, making that group the most worthy of respect and a role model for all. So this group share the same goals and same viewpoints. Everyone within this group shares similar thoughts, idea, and most importantly, same viewpoints. So that is, I think, very important, because if everyone has different viewpoints and different paths and different ideas, then conflicts would be inevitable, unavoidable. So therefore, sharing the same goals and viewpoints is very important. That's why Buddhist community is very precious group, I think. And so this group also share benefits. The benefit refer to bringing our practice into our daily activities. And a Buddhist community does not just represent a community of monks and nuns. At home, a family can also practice Buddhism. Don't just think Buddhism is a religion. Buddhism is also Buddha's educational system. So therefore, Buddhism is for everyone. Everyone can learn and practice Buddhism, even if they are not sort of interested in the religion. For it is the teaching of ultimate perfect wisdom. So with a Buddhist group, we also learn how to get along better with others and benefit others. So therefore, sort of we are making a strong spiritual karmic connection, if you like. So it is important to keep our relationship with each other harmonious. Therefore, our daily sort of conduct and practice can help and change others' views and attitude. So Buddha Dharma, what is Buddha? Of course you know, but Buddha represents wisdom. and enlightenment. So we are relying upon on enlightened mind, and we respect him as a great teacher, as a human being, a great teacher. That is Buddha. Dharma represents the perfect view and path. So we are relying upon the perfect view and especially understanding. So we respect Dharma as a great path. So Buddha Dharma represent our wisdom, true nature, our enlightenment. So the goal of a Buddhist education or practice is to attain perfect wisdom. So the Buddha taught us that the main sort of objective of our practice was to achieve that ultimate wisdom. And he further taught us that everyone has the potential to realize this state of ultimate wisdom, as it is intrinsic sort of part of our nature, not something that we obtain externally. But, we have this sort of potential, this intrinsic part of our nature, but most of us have become confused through all of this sort of misconceptions, and therefore we're not able to realize this potential, this Buddha Dharma, whatever, this perfect wisdom, perfect enlightenment. We are not able to realize this true nature. But if we break through this confusion, we will realize this intrinsic part of our nature. So that is our perfect wisdom and enlightenment. Then we can relax our mind. By the way, this topic is how to relax mind. Okay? So therefore, if you realize the intrinsic part of your nature, if you have a great wisdom and enlightenment, then you can relax your mind. Therefore, Buddhism is an educational system. You have to remember this all the time. The Buddha's teaching help us to realize this ultimate wisdom. With wisdom, we can then solve all our problems. If we have a wisdom, if we have, understanding, this perfect enlightenment, whatever, if we have that, if we have a wisdom, our thoughts, our viewpoints, and our behavior will be correct. Then, of course, we will be very happy. And we can see that suffering is caused by delusion, and the source of happiness is our own realization of this perfect wisdom. So therefore, as you know, Buddhist teaching contains three sort of major points. Discipline, very important. Meditation, very important. And wisdom, right? So the wisdom is the goal, the most important one. Wisdom is the most important for Buddhist practitioners, okay? People who follow on Buddha's teaching and this path. Without wisdom, you cannot do that. You cannot take this Buddhist path without wisdom. So therefore, meditation is the crucial process to achieve this wisdom, and discipline is the method that helps us to achieve deep meditation. So then wisdom will be realized naturally. So Buddhism is special kind of knowledge. Therefore, it is not just a religion. A long time ago, many of Buddha's students became very well accomplished through following Buddha's instructions. Therefore, the main idea of Buddhist meditation is to tame the mind. The goal of practice, meditation, Buddhist, the goal of main point is to tame your mind, to tame the mind. Because we human beings have a powerful minds, right? Tremendous intellectual ability. But at the same time, this can bring many sort of complications and difficulties into our lives. That's because often we don't recognize and appreciate the good and positive aspects of our lives. So meditation helps us to recognize and sort of activate those positive qualities. And through meditation, eventually this become part of daily life. That's the thing. Then again, we can relax our mind. Can you relax your mind? Without wisdom, without meditation, without discipline, for sure you can't. We can't relax. We can't relax our mind. But with these kind of things, three major these things you have to remember: discipline and meditation, wisdom, so important. So important, okay? So therefore, meditation, we all the time we meditate, right? Meditate. So eventually, meditation sort of become part of your life. Then you're going to really successful. You are going to develop this perfect path in enlightenment. Until that, you cannot relax your mind. So therefore, once we understand that these good qualities are always with us, meditation, discipline, wisdom, compassion, all of this within us, then we begin to rejoice our lives and we appreciate it more and more. Life is so precious, very, very important. And we will recognize that we are so fortunate. We have this precious human life with a powerful mind and with a beautiful mind, intelligent mind, right? But at the same time, we still have sort of uncertainty. We will think that, I have this precious human life, but it is very sort of impermanent and fragile. Means you never know what will happen. You never know. We will also begin to see how selfish our mind is and how deeply ingrained our habitual patterns are. So we have to see we have these sort of emotions, hope and fear. Hope and fear. Fear, we have fear, this emotion, because we see all the negative emotions and their consequences. And we hope because we see the benefit of practice and want to accomplish that. We know we have potential. We have this nature, intrinsic Buddha nature. So we hope benefit of the practice. We can tame our mind. So this is not bad. This is good because it encourages us to practice, right? And to be even more wise and sort of careful. As you progress in your practice, you will become more sort of content, and you will enjoy your practice. And then eventually, when we accomplished our practice, we will no longer have these emotions, hope and fear. Otherwise, when you contemplate on a death, for instance, sometimes very uncomfortable, what will happen? Death is suffering. After death, if you believe, these are very uncertain. So we sort of this thing, when we contemplate all of these things, then, fear and hope, these emotions. So, but if we meditate, if we practice and develop our wisdom and meditation, sort of this, develop our good qualities, then meditation become part of our life. Then there is nothing more sort of we will hope for and nothing we will fear, because we know our capacity. So at this point, we will become sort of fearless, and our mind completely sort of stable. It's not just I'm talking, we have good examples, great practitioners. Even like my time, during my time in Tibet, I met sort of great meditators, like fearless, no hope, no fear. There's nothing to hope, nothing to fear, because your mind is just completely stable, not this kind of fragile, So first, meditation helps you to recognize that you have these positive qualities. And second, it helps you to recognize your life is very fragile, and you shouldn't waste your life, precious life. And third, eventually, meditation helps you relax your mind and accomplish your practice, your goal. We all understand these things. There's nothing new I'm talking today. But our problem is actually we are not meditating. We're just so lazy. We just don't meditate. Then what? Nothing. Your intellectual understanding, nothing help you. If you don't practice, if you don't meditate, that's what Buddha said. So it's so important to practice, please, whatever you have, like every single day, practice 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever you have to practice. You have to understand the precious human life you have, but the life is so short. You never know what will happen. So proof of your meditation is that you are not going to suffer from these negative emotions anymore, because then you can relax your mind. I mean, it's hard. The first time you can't meditate, you can't, your concentration is not there. It's hard, but you can do it. I know it. Once meditation becomes your part of your life, you will experience peacefulness. When Buddha Shakyamuni was in this world, he not only used the words to teach, but made an example of himself for all living beings to follow and to show that we have these good qualities and capacities. That's a good thing, right? That's why precious human life, that's they call it, precious human life. This intrinsic nature, Buddhists call the Buddha nature, right? All sentient beings, include animals. Everybody have this Buddha nature, but the problem is we have no recognition. Especially human beings, we are able to, if you practice, we can do that. We can see this intrinsic Buddha nature full of good qualities. And Buddha came to India and he let go of all desires and worldly sort of enjoyment. He lived a life of simplicity. Purity of mind means happiness. Happiness. Ordinary people like us might see this as crazy and miserable. That's why we can't do it. Even that's why we even can't do practice, meditate on 20 minutes. We're just always thinking. Follow our thoughts, negative thoughts. But this is only due to our lack of wisdom and understanding of the true nature. And someone with wisdom mind would view things differently. Wise people would see the Buddha's life as one of true liberation, happiness. Because Buddha does not have useless thoughts, discrimination, attachment, anxieties, and worries. These are very common, right, in our mind. Buddha didn't have that. I mean, first, of course, he had those, but he tamed his mind. So without that, without this sort of negative emotions, whatever you have is liberation. So Buddha lived a life of wisdom. And like while ordinary people live life of afflictions, negative emotions, attachment, all of this. That's why Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching show us how to change our afflictive life into ones of great wisdom and peace. So Buddha's teachings show us how to gain the proper understanding of life. That's all. Let go of all wandering thoughts and generate the altruistic mind, love and compassion, and attain freedom of mind. So all this practice, each having its profound meanings, needs to be put to use in everyday life. That is Buddha's education. That is Buddhist practice. That is Buddhist practitioner's life. So Buddhism is education of wisdom. Remember that. And the ultimate goal in learning Buddhism is great perfection, which is about nature of our mind. Then you will recognize that everything arises from the mind, then pure, equal, and enlightened mind. Naturally brings happiness. Although Buddhism, talks a lot about impermanence and suffering, right? Suffering is dukkha, in Sanskrit term, dukkha. It has, the dukkha has the connotation of unsatisfactory experience. So dukkha, suffering, means that everything is not perfectly wonderful in our lives. For example, when we are relatively happy, there is still no guarantee that things will continue to go well. So this is what is meant by unsatisfactory experience or suffering. So every day, unfortunately, more and more problems come to us with our thoughts and emotions. So the feeling of freedom is not there. And we don't know how to relax our mind. Therefore, we need to rely on the enlightened mind. So it is important for us to follow the Buddha's teachings, put them into your practice, use them in daily life, and take refuge in Buddha and Dharma. The most important factor is learning and practicing the Buddha's teachings, which includes practicing them in everyday life. The teachings of Buddha teach us to maintain a healthy mind, because a healthy mind creates healthy life. The more you understand the teachings, the more joy and benefit you will receive from them. That's why your wisdom is so important. Develop your wisdom. However, a teacher like Buddha can only sort of educate us, right, about the principles, tell us experience and practice, and suggest different sort of methods, and give us sort of, instructions for our attainment. But the rest ultimately depends upon us. So we are the ones who need to be enthusiastic and diligent in order to attain achievement, in order to change your mind, in order to relax your mind. True achievement is attaining a pure mind. Without a pure mind, there is no way to truly solve problems, like these mental problems. So the main principle of our practice is awakening, which is proper thoughts and peaceful mind. That is Buddha Dharma. Buddha Dharma is our wisdom, our understanding, our correct view, nothing other than that. If you don't have correct view, if you don't have good path, then you don't have Buddha Dharma. Don't think Buddha Dharma exists somewhere else outside of your mind. Everything's your mind. So before we meditate, today is actually anniversary of Khenchen Jigme, our teacher. So I want to say his supplication prayers for a few times before we meditate. So you have this supplication prayer. So this supplication prayer is very important, very famous in Tibet, because it is when Manjushri appeared to Khenchen Jigme Phunso when he was in secret place in China called the Five-Peaked Mountains. Have you been there? In China, Beijing? Very, very famous place. So there is a Manjushri cave, and Khenchen Jigme Phunso was sort of on short retreat with a lot of students. And one time he had a vision of Manjushri, and Manjushri appeared to him and gave him very important instructions. And Khenchen Jigme Phunso was actually, right? He's like treasure revealer. So right after Manjushri appeared to him, he revealed this supplication prayer. Manjushri gave him a lot of instructions. So he had a lots of teachings, actually, the volumes, because of Manjushri gave him instructions, all of that. But this is one of them. It's so important, supplication prayer to Kanchi Jigme Phuntsok. So today is the anniversary of him. His, in Tibet, where all over in Tibet celebrate or whatever. So they say prayers and get together to practice. So today is very important, actually, according to Tibetan calendar, 15th day, and a very important day. So before we practice, I want you to say this supplication prayers 3 times, if you don't mind. And then I will teach you how to meditate, okay? All right. Supplication prayer to Kanchi Jigme Phuntsok. In the pure realm of great sacred site, 5 peaked mountains, may the blessings of Manjushri's wisdom ripen in my mind. Jigme Phuntsok, at your feet I pray, inspire me with your blessings. Transmit in realization of the wisdom mind lineage in the pure realm of the great sacred site, the 5 peaked mountains. May the blessings of Manjushri's wisdom ripen in my mind. Jigme Phuntsok, at your feet I pray, inspire me with your blessings. Transmit the realization of the wisdom mind lineage in the pure realm of the great sacred site, the 5 peaked mountain. May the blessings of Manjushri's wisdom ripen in my mind. Jigme Phuntsok, at your feet I pray, inspire me with your blessings. Transmit the realization of the wisdom mind lineage. So lineage is very important for us. So now we're going to meditate for a few minutes. Teaching is important, but the more important is meditation. Always don't forget that. Keep your mind. Meditation is if you really want to change your mind or relax your mind, you need meditate. So meditation. So what are we really doing when we begin meditating? We are sort of transforming the busyness that is our normal sort of mental state into relaxation. So this is something we all need every day, right? So when you try to open and connect with your mind, and as you relax more and more, you discover that everything, your body is mind, your mind is body. When you meditate, like everything, all this appearance, becomes sort of part of your mind. It's actually nothing exists outside of your mind. So everything comes from your mind. That's why we have powerful mind. It makes us, good, bad, suffering, happy, everything. According to Buddhism, nothing outside there, everything there. So when you meditate, right? When you meditate, if you have a deep meditation, you feel it. Body is mind. Mind is body. What is different? So if you feel that kind of experience, try to rest there. Just relax there. And when you're sort of deeply connected with the mind, that already is meditation. That is meditation, right? Otherwise, nothing. Meditation, what do you meditate? There is nothing, no meditation. But once you feel like you are present moment, you are here, you experience this deep sort of, feeling of, that you deeply connected with everything, especially with your mind, then that is already your meditation. Because the mind is sort of no longer distracted, but is in union with the body. The mind and body will merge. I give you an example, body, right? But everything, you are connecting. If you have like wonderful, beautiful meditation, you are connecting everything. You connected everything. Don't create expectations or push too hard. Both are obstacle for your meditation. If you get sort of involved with too much pushing and expectation or become sort of judgmental, then it just becomes one of your normal projections. And the mind doesn't feel the special quality of meditation. That means you're losing your meditation. And also, don't go to the other extreme where you sort of fall into daydream and sort of drowsiness. So just to be relaxed, open, and breathe easily. Meditation is like your life. If you know how to take care of your life, life is so simple, not difficult at all. But if you really don't know how to take care of your life very complicated, difficult to control everything, right? Meditation is like that. If you really understand how to meditate, meditation is so easy. If you don't understand how to meditate, very, very complicated. So, open the connection of the body and mind. When the mind is resting, meditation can be very healing, very good for you. When your thoughts arise, that is beginning of your distraction when you meditate. When a thoughts arise, what do you do? Simply recognize the arising of the thought, then thought itself becomes the next object of your attention in this method, meditation. Don't judge. That's the thing. We are so, this habit, right? Bad habit, good, bad, we always judge. So when you meditate, you have lots of experience, thoughts, and then you follow. It's actually, that's why you're going to lose, your meditation. So meditation, your thoughts arise, just recognize, and that's it. Don't follow any further, and then just your thoughts no longer there, disappear. So in that way, you practice, what do you call it? This is like rest in the mind. So when you are, this is the instruction for meditation, okay? So you are looking at your mind directly, to understand what I'm saying? Looking at your mind directly, not forgetting it. That's your meditation. How is it simple? Looking at your mind directly and not forgetting it. Then you have your meditation. If you forget this, then you have no meditation. So you just need to keep on practicing on it. There is nothing else that needs to be done. That's very important. It is best, to look at it and then rest on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? directly look at your mind, you will experience peacefulness, gentleness, kindness, nature of mind, whatever you call it. If you look directly at your mind and not forgetting it, that's your meditation. Okay? There is no visualization, no recitations, nothing. Just relax and keep on practice on it. When your thoughts arise, for sure, you meditate like that, right? You meditate like that. You have so many thoughts. That's fine. Don't worry. Just don't follow them. You can do that, right? And then they will disappear. Okay? Do you understand? Instruction? Just direct look at your mind. You can open your mind, your eyes, or close your eyes, whatever is comfortable this time. So the thing is, don't forget your mind. And key point, instruction, is when your thoughts arise, don't follow them, don't judge them, just let it go and focus in more deeply into your practice, and then you will experience this peacefulness. Then you just need to develop that. That's your meditation. The first time you can focus on this, whatever peacefulness, maybe like, 5 seconds, and then your thoughts arise. And then you just do it again, do it again. If you're diligent enough, then eventually you can meditate on it like 1 hour, no problem, without thought. Still, you're not liberated, right? And then you just meditate, need to meditate. Eventually, everything is, you just like controlled, So as long as you want, you can meditate. And then eventually, whatever like you do in your daily activity, everything become your practice. Everything is practice. That's my teacher say. Everything is practice. Even like when we look at what their activities look like, like worldly activity like that. But for them, it's everything's meditation. But we can't do that. We are just separate, right? So we can't do it, but eventually we can. So the thing is, just look at your mind directly, and not forgetting it, okay? That's for instruction for today meditation, for a few minutes, please. Ready? Yes? Okay, 10 minutes. All right, thank you. All right. Now the closing prayers, dedication. May I attain in each and every life the sublime virtues of existence and peace. May I pursue the flawless life of altruism.
working for the welfare of others on a vast scale.
Through
This very merit of mine, may every single sentient being eliminate all forms of negativity and practice virtue forevermore. May Supreme Precious Bodhisattva take birth where it has not arisen. Where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to grow forevermore.
May
I, in all my lives, no matter where I am born, obtain the 7 qualities of the upper realms of existence. May I meet the Dharma immediately after taking birth, and have the freedom to practice perfectly. May I please the sublime Gurus, and day and night dedicate myself to the Dharma. By realizing the Dharma and practicing its innermost essence, may I cross the ocean of conditioned existence in this very life. May I teach the sublime Dharma perfectly, and never become weary and tired of benefiting others in samsara. By my own impartial and all-encompassing activities to benefit others, may all attain enlightenment together.
All right, thank you very much for coming. And that's all for today. And I wish you peace, happiness, love, kindness, especially happy holidays. Okay?